Well. Today was my birthday. I launched Holo. I just got a text message from somebody. I don't have an easy way to market my products, so I just kind of try to focus on making content for YouTube. And with Holo, I have a lot of stuff already made, so I have like 20 to 30 videos already made showing all the different types of tricks you can do with Holo. So since it's out now, and I don't have to keep it a secret, I guess I'll talk about how I discovered it. So it's an ancient toy. It's like a old school ball and cup, and the original concept was a rib bone and a spine bone, and you spike the rib bone into the hole of the spine bone, and that's basically like an ancient Holo. And there's people in China who made them out of bamboo, and it's really weird because when you ask the people in China, they'll say, I don't know, I think it came from France. So you talk to people in France and they're like, I don't know, I think it came from Japan. You talk to people in Japan, they're like, I don't know, I think it came from China. So there's a lot of different versions of this type of toy, but when I first saw it and wanted to try it, just like any other toy, you really need to get your hands on it before you can judge it. So at first glance, Holo might look kind of, whatever. But when you hold it, it's way more fun than you think. So I saw the bamboo versions online, saw pictures, saw a couple videos of people, just, little snippets, nothing professional. I look around my apartment, I find a cardboard tube that's pretty thick, and I cut it to the size that I think it should be, and I play with it, and my first thought is just like, whoa, how is this not a toy? Like, how has this not been made professionally yet? That's how much fun I had with it just with the first session. Ended up breaking that one, and I looked all over California for a wood shop that would just make one. And a lot of places would just say no, because it is pretty hard. You've got to turn wood and then hollow it out. And most places that would take a long time. Like, that might take a whole day or two just to get it set up and hollowed. So a lot of places are just like, nah dude, I can't help you. I found one old guy who would make me one, and that's it. He charged me $20, which was pretty cool, and I had my prototype. And that prototype I sat on for like a year and a half, still looking for factories, still trying to find any way to make it. And I gave up so many times on this toy. It's kind of ridiculous how many times I gave up. There were moments where I was considering, should I bite the bullet and pay for an extremely expensive mold cost and make it out of some other material? And the reason I'm thinking that way is because it is that fun. I like this toy that much that it was like, alright, yeah, maybe I should just buy a really expensive mold and make something and lose money in it, but make this toy. And that was the route I was about to take. But then I finally found a wood shop that was able to make it differently and good and to my qualifications and sizing, and they do it in a way to make it affordable. So it's not one solid chunk of wood. Now if you did have it be one solid chunk of wood, it would be better that way, but it would also be extremely expensive. I'm actually having to go to court because a wood shop in California basically stole my money and lied and didn't produce me 12 white oak hollows. And because of the virus, that's been delayed. But that's something that I'm going through. I actually have to go to court because this wood shop decided to be a dickhead about things. So I've been grinding on this toy non-stop for a really long time. And then when I got them, I just started going ham on videos. I already took a bunch of photos, and I already have a bunch of videos, and I'm going to try to make tutorials. Tutorials are a little bit harder for me to do, but I'm forcing myself to learn how to do tutorials because I need to. Now we're up to this point where this week I was going to do a Kickstarter, and I ran into another wall. Go figure. With this toy, it's been such a hard toy to get off the ground. I decided not to do Kickstarter because I had no infinite pre-order source. So what happened was, it's not the worst thing, it's just bad timing, is that I contacted the factory and they're like, oh, we actually changed equipment facilities. And so that to me was like, ah, man, I can't show product A on Kickstarter and then have people have product B delivered to them. Even if it's slightly different, I would have felt wrong about that, because people would have been like, hey, I didn't order this. This isn't what you were showing. And the factory wasn't able to produce a sample this past week quick enough. So Kickstarter takes a percentage of your cut. And I just figured if I can't have an infinite source of pre-orders, then it's not worth it. So I just directly dropped Holo in the shop. So that's why it's available. I have these Holos available because you have to order minimums. And these are good functioning Holos. It's just I don't have the direct line to the factory for, an open order. Which would have been nice, but at the same time, maybe it's better this way so that I can kind of grow it. Maybe if I get new materials, or I can do a Kickstarter in the future to maybe pre-order for these. I do want to make different sizes, tweak the shapes a little bit, do different woods, try to experiment a little bit with it, because it's a really fun toy. Like, the moment I've touched it, I was just like, man, I was set. I was like, I gotta make this. It was like Halo. This isn't really my idea. It's more like I took an old school toy idea and tweaked it. I made it symmetrical. Like, I had the option to make the top and bottom spike a little bit bigger or smaller, which I might do in the future because that changes up how it plays if you have a top and bottom. You can also funnel the hole in the barrel to where the hole on the top of the barrel could be really wide, and on the other side of the barrel it's really small. So then you have like difficulties of spiking. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with Holo, and I want to do it, but I need to sell what I have, and it's taken 3 years to get to this point. And anybody who buys a Holo, I really appreciate it. I put a lot of work into this toy. It's a amazing toy. It is fun, and that is why I'm pushing it so hard, because I love it. I love the toy. I was about to call it Susu, which is Japanese for cylinder, and that's because I just ran into a wall. I was like, what do you call this thing? There was literally no names I could think of, and when I thought of Holo, I was like, man, that is perfect. So it just kind of stuck, and it made Susu kind of fall away. But yeah, all that stuff, I launched Holo. I feel like everything's pretty much done. I never know if I'm 100% ready. It's just me doing all this. I'm doing everything from A to Z, and it's a lot of work. I don't know if people understand that. It's not like I'm just making one toy. I'm working on a lot of toys, so it's difficult sometimes, because if I had it my way, I'd put out different toys at different times. Like Crescent, I tried to put out really quick because it was so simple. It might be one of the simpler ideas I have, but I have so many different toy ideas that when one just comes into play, like Holo just jumped into my lap this year. It was like, boom, all right, they're ready, let's go. And I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity, so I pulled the trigger. The thing is I'm using pretty much all of my money, and I'm funneling it right into Play Access, and I should be using it for marketing and stuff like that, but I take all my profits and I just go straight back into inventing new toys or making new products, because I just want to constantly grow Play Access. I don't want to quit. I have too many ideas, and I'm thinking about working on card games and implementing that into Play Access. I'm working on 3D modeling, which is the first time I've ever really wanted to do it, and I'm doing that so I can make papercraft skill toys. So it's like a whole nother thing that might take over my brain, and I might go crazy doing this. But you can print on cardstock paper, fold it, glue it, and tape it, and have a skill toy. And that to me is just beautiful. If I can design free skill toys where all you need to do is download something, change the colors around if you want, print it and assemble it, and you have a toy, I made a paper kendama this past week, and it blew my mind. It was the most fun thing I've played with in a while, and it was just paper, and I was like, whoa. So that's why I was like, I need to learn how to 3D model, get my shit together, and start experimenting with different toy ideas. So one of the things I want to do is make like a paper craft holo, but I want to have like a section of Play Access where it's just free toys, like paper craft toys. But of course, I got to learn how to model, and it's pretty difficult, so I don't know how long that's going to take until I'm pretty proficient at modeling. I've always stayed away from 3D modeling because it is going to be a hobby that kind of sucks me in, and I don't expect to get good at it. I just really need to know the basics. Because if you look at my company, most of my toys are pretty simple in design. I'm not doing anything insane. There's not like a ton of working parts that go together. So I'm pretty sure I can, design basic shapes and stuff in 3D models and prototype new ideas. Who knows, maybe I'll come up with new stuff. But it was my birthday. I had a pretty cool night last night. It was chill, relaxing. I should have made this podcast 2 days ago, but I've been kind of distracted, and I keep getting set off course when I need to be focusing on the toys and stuff. But yeah, I'm really glad Holo's out. I'm glad it's my birthday, which means the Catch 33 is done tonight. I looped it the other day. It's complete, I think. I didn't scream over it. I don't think I could scream over it. An hour is a very long time, and I wouldn't be able to write. I don't think I'd be able to write lyrics to that quick enough. I'm strict on deadlines. Tonight, I'm officially not 33 anymore, so the CD is done. I don't know when I'll post it. I'll probably post an audio version, and then I'm going to make like a visual kind of music video type style thing to it, and that might take some time. But I've got a lot of things that I'm going to be dropping, like my first legitimate fingerboard edit's going to come out soon. I'm also working on fingerboards for Play Access. With this virus thing going on, it's kind of delayed my plastics. I'm also trying to work on plastic toys, which is new toys and also plastic versions of toys that I already have. So that's pretty exciting. But before I end this, I want to say some stories of my birthday parties. When I was a kid, I don't know how my dad did this, because my dad doesn't seem like the type of person who would want to do this, but he would let my entire classroom of my middle school come over and have a sleepover on my birthday. And my birthday parties were pretty much known amongst the school to be like these epic things. And there's a lot of stuff that would go down. There was one night where we would mostly stay in this room called the playroom, which was above the garage, so we could be as loud as we want. And my friends would sneak downstairs to get icy pops. And that was the thing the whole night. Is we'd tell people like, hey, Rhett, go downstairs and get 3 icy pops. So I think Michael and Rhett go downstairs, and they run back upstairs scared, super scared. And they're like, bro, there's a snake in your garage. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no snakes. And so I think like 2 other people go down with them. They come back up and they're like, yeah, something's definitely in the garage. It turns out that our neighbor's ferret got loose and went into our house, and it was just like tripping everyone out that night. We never caught it, but people would keep catching glimpses of it, of its tail, like jumping around corners and stuff. So everyone thought it was a snake. So that's a light note of my birthday parties. We would do things like take chairs and slide down our stairs like a ski slope with any object we could find, a dresser drawer or anything. We'd slide down the stairs. We would have Nerf gun fights constantly. And I remember one night we were putting toothpaste on the tips of the Nerf darts and just going crazy with the lights off. And when we turned the lights on, There was toothpaste everywhere. And my birthday parties had a lot of Nerf gun fights. I remember one birthday, I got shot in my eye by my stepbrother because for whatever reason, we liked having nighttime Nerf gun fights, which were pretty dangerous if you think about it, but we made it safe by separating the room. Like, hey, you're going to stay on that side of the room and we'll stay on this side of the room. And we had those eagle-eye Nerf guns back then, which were battery-powered that would give you like a little tiny spotlight. So we weren't completely in pitch black, but it was such a dim light that it was no flashlight. And my stepbrother is a dickhead, and he like climbed over the barrier that we all said, hey, nobody do. And he got real close and shot one right into my eye to where it stuck to my socket, and I had to go to the bathroom and peel it off like a contact lens. That's not the only eye injury, though. I didn't get hurt, but this one was really bad. My friend Cole, him and this kid, because again, this is a middle school class just coming to my house for a party, so not everyone gets along. Something happened with Cole and this other kid where they were fake fighting with a baton, and then boom, Cole gets hit in the eye with a baton full force. Dude has the biggest black eye anyone's seen, and my dad just like calls it off. I think that might have been the last birthday party is when Cole got hit in the eye. That's when it was like too far. We were crazy though. I'll never forget the birthday parties and all the crazy shit we would get into. Because all of my friends in middle school, we were all in the same class. We were all the same age. My birthday parties were always crazy, and they were always remembered and talked about in my schools. And I really don't understand how I had like 7 to 9 of them. I had a ton of them. And I just know one of the last ones was Cole getting smacked. We would sleep on the trampoline. We would like roam the neighborhoods at night. We just did crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm 34. It's going to be weird because I never thought I'd be this old, honestly. Like pretty much all my friends have died young. I figured I was going to die young. I'm still here. And while I'm still here, I'm going to be pumping out toys. And guess what? I know I just put out Holo, but watch out for Saturn. It's the next one I'm going to drop. But yeah, sorry if this was rambling. It's whatever. I think I'm going to call this podcast something with play. Like I was thinking Play Zone, Play Force, but I don't know if those work. I totally don't remember the name, but it was something like that. I would call it Play Theory, but that's like a whole show idea I have. But yeah, I'm okay. I've spent a lot of time on Holo. I just want you to check out Holo. Stay tuned. Keep up to date with all the new videos I'm going to be dropping because I have a lot of content for Holo. I'm going to continue to make content for Holo. It's a dope toy. I suggest you get them while they last because, again, I don't know how soon it'll be till I can order more. And it's taken a long time to get the ones that I have. And the ones that I have right now, I 100% vouch for. They are sick. They're 10 times better than the prototypes I made. They are legit. So you can't go wrong with one of these Holos. They're sick. It's a dope toy. But yeah, I'm 34. That's the end of this podcast. If you listen this far, let me know. Tell me what you think of Holo. I really want to hear what people think because it's a really fun toy, and I kind of want to birth life into it and see it, grow up in the community because I feel like it's been this overlooked toy. And now I've made a professional quality model of it, so let's see if people can start shredding it. Like, this toy is legit. I want to see it prosper. But yep, I feel like I've ended this like 6 times. It's over now. Wow.